Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer and a subscriber. Folks, I'm going to give you the latest status of the $1,400 stimulus checks and how that legislation is actually advancing through Congress right now. Just to give you folks a recap, first we have a package or a proposal, which is the American Rescue Plan, the $1.9 trillion stimulus plan proposed by President Biden. Then it becomes a bill, and that bill, once it passes both the House and the Senate, it goes to the desk of the president for signing, and once the president signs it, it becomes law. So we have a package, then it becomes a bill, and then once the president signs it, it becomes law. I do believe that this will become law in the first or the second week of March, before the March 14th deadline. It is going to be tight, but it's still possible. So once again, let me be clear. There's a package, then there's a bill, and then it becomes law. Right now, the bill is being worked on in Congress and is now starting to make its way from the House to the Senate. Now, the one interesting thing is the $15 an hour minimum wage is something that the Democrats have included in the House version of the bill. But there are two Democratic senators, the conservative Democrat from West Virginia, Joe Manchin, what's up, Joe, as well as Kristen Sinema, the Democrat from Arizona. So Senator Sinema has also signaled opposition to the $15 an hour minimum wage. So it's very clear that once this bill goes from the House to the Senate, it may not continue in the Senate, and also we're not clear whether this complies with the Senate budget rules. It does look like the $15 an hour is going to end up on the chopping block. Now, let's take a deeper dive because I looked into this to give you folks a more detailed update. On your screen, you'll see an article from CNBC that reads, House advances $1,400 payments unemployment boost as part of the relief plan. As always, we'll provide you with a link to all of our resources in the description section below. So folks, just to give you an idea of how things work, there are different committees, and once all the committees pass different pieces of the legislation, it's all combined into one bill that's then approved by the House and then goes from the House to the Senate. Keep in mind that the way this bill is being drafted, as long as there's a simple majority in the Senate, right now we have 50 Democratic senators and 50 Republican senators. One of the reasons that we have 50 Democratic senators is because of the election of Reverend Raphael Warnock in Georgia and John Ossoff, the 33-year-old senator in Georgia. This allows the Democrats to actually have a razor-thin majority because of the tie-breaking vote of, you guessed it, Vice President Kamala Harris. There she is. Hello, Vice President. So as long as this passes the House, it is going to pass the Senate because there are 50 Democratic senators. I do believe that the $15 now is going to end up on the chopping block because the Democrats will need to do that to get Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia and Senator Kristen Sinema from Arizona on board. So folks, just to give you a quick summary, right now the Ways and Means Committee, the Education and Labor Committee, the Financial Services Committee, the Transportation and the Small Business Committee have all passed different parts of the proposal that are now making their way through Congress, and this will come up for a vote on the floor of the House, I would imagine in the next 7 to 10 days. Now, there are two important things here, folks, that we have to highlight. The Ways and Means Committee, they passed a portion of the House bill that includes $1,400 stimulus checks to individuals who make up to $75,000 as single filers and couples who earn up to $150,000. This is the heart of the bill. This is the most important part of the bill. But as far as the Democrats are concerned, like I mentioned before, they cannot afford to lose a single vote in the United States Senate because they have a razor-thin majority. They lose a single vote. They lose either Joe Manchin's vote or Kristen Sinema's vote, and they are not going to be able to pass this budget reconciliation package. If they get all the Democrats on board, they can still pass the package without a single Republican vote under the budget reconciliation rules. Also, another really important part of the bill that was drafted by the House Ways and Means Committee that's going to make its way into the final bill that will be voted on in the House in the next 7 to 10 days. The federal unemployment benefit booster going up from $300 a week to $400 a week until the 29th of August. Also, the plan would boost assistance to households with children. Americans would get up to $3,600 for children up to the age of 6 and $3,000 per child aged 6 through 18. So this is something that's going to be very helpful, and it's included in the proposal that's making its way through the different committees of the House right now. There's also money for vaccine distributions, for school reopenings, and of course the $15 an hour minimum wage is included. But again, without the support of Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, it's not going to be able to make its way through the United States Senate, which is the next step. and the final step before it goes to the president's desk for signature. Here's another headline on your screen from Bloomberg that reads House panel, specifically the Ways and Means Committee, passes the $1,400 stimulus checks, passes the family tax credits, and the combined dollar value of all the stimulus, the Ways and Means Committee is passing alone is at $593 billion out of the $1.9 trillion. And folks, the latest reporting from Bloomberg suggests that all the different committees I mentioned earlier are going to complete their work in the next few days, and the House is formally going to vote on the entire $1.9 trillion stimulus package in the last week of February, in the last week of this month, the week of February 22nd, Monday. And let me remind you again that right now we have a package, which is the American Rescue Plan, that is being drafted into a bill by the House. It's going to be voted on in the House and then go through to the Senate. And then once the president signs it, it becomes law. The IRS has already indicated that as soon as the president signs it, they will start sending out the money, and they're already starting to prepare their computer systems based on your most recent tax returns. So if your 2020 income is lower than 2020, which it likely is for most of us, I encourage you to file your tax returns right away so that the IRS has your lower income on file. And if you have dependents in 2020 relative to 2019, that could mean that you get a larger stimulus check even if you have adult dependents, because unlike the first stimulus check of $1,200, and unlike the second stimulus check of $600, the third stimulus check of $1,400 can be payable to adult dependents on your most recent tax return. So keep this in mind as you prepare to file your most recent tax returns. Now, here's something that will help parents quite a lot with this new $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Households will get a child tax credit of $300 a month for younger children aged 5 and under, and $250 a month for older children over the age of 6 up until the age of 18. Now, this is important. This is going to equate to a $3,600 a year benefit for younger children and a $3,000 a year benefit for older children. And this is paid out as a monthly payment. Now, this is completely different from how the child tax credit worked in the past, because in the past, the child tax credit, or I should say currently, until this bill is signed into law, currently, the child tax credit is $2,000, and it is not a monthly payment. It is currently paid out as a tax refund. So what the Democrats are trying to do is not only expand the child credit, but also put money into the accounts, put money in your hands so you can spend it right away if you qualify for it and if you have children. And with this massive plan, according to the Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center, about 2/3 of the benefits, 66% of the benefits, would go to households making up to $91,000 a year. What happens to richer families? Well, they found that about 11% of the benefits would go to the top 20% of taxpayers, those who make more than $164,000 a year. So folks, this proposed monthly tax payment credits for the child tax credits, Democrats are hoping to take these monthly tax credits and make them permanent in future legislation. So that's a detailed update of the stimulus negotiations, folks, where things stand. I'll be giving you more information about how the new stimulus check, the third stimulus check, compares with the first and second stimulus check by way of spending, by way of actual income levels. So look out for that video. If you learned something new, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. Please click like and subscribe because it helps out the YouTube algorithm again. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.